Earth unveiled, the galactic threat. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, countless civilizations had risen and fallen over millennia. Some had reached for the stars, while others remained bound to their homeworlds. For humanity, the dream of interstellar travel had long been just that, a dream. But on a crisp autumn morning in 2047, everything changed. Dr. Samantha Chen stood in the control room of the Arecibo 2 radio telescope, her eyes fixed on the incoming data stream. For weeks, her team had been tracking an unusual signal from the direction of Alpha Centauri. At first, they'd dismissed it as an anomaly, a glitch in the system. But as the days passed, the signal grew stronger, more coherent. "Holy shit," whispered her colleague, Dr. Alex Reeves. "Sam, are you seeing this?" Samantha nodded, her throat suddenly dry. The message was clear, unmistakable. First contact. After centuries of searching, humanity had finally received proof that they were not alone in the universe. The news spread like wildfire. Governments scrambled to respond, religious leaders sought to reconcile their beliefs with this new reality, and the public oscillated between excitement and fear. But as the dust settled, one thing became clear. Earth was woefully unprepared for its debut on the galactic stage. The Galactic Council, as they called themselves, was an alliance of advanced civilizations spanning a significant portion of the Milky Way. Their emissaries arrived 6 months after the initial contact, sleek ships descending from the skies in a display that left no doubt about their technological superiority. Humanity's leaders gathered in New York, where the aliens had chosen to make their formal introduction. Samantha, as one of the scientists who had first detected the signal, was among those invited to attend. The alien delegation was a sight to behold. Beings of various shapes, sizes, and colors filed into the United Nations Assembly Hall. Some floated on anti-gravity platforms, others walked on multiple legs, and a few seemed to phase in and out of visible reality. Their spokesperson, a tall, silvery being with multifaceted eyes, addressed the assembly. "Greetings, people of Earth. We are the Galactic Council, and we welcome you to the greater community of sapient species." What followed was a crash course in galactic politics, history, and technology. The Council offered humanity membership, but with conditions. Earth would be classified as a protectorate, a developing world under the Council's guidance and protection. For many, it seemed like a dream come true. Access to advanced technology, protection from cosmic threats, and a chance to explore the stars. But Samantha couldn't shake a feeling of unease. In the weeks that followed, as Earth's governments debated the terms of membership, she pored over the information the aliens had provided. "It doesn't add up," she told Alex one night, as they worked late in their lab. "Look at the distribution of Council worlds. Earth is isolated, cut off from the nearest member planet by hundreds of light years." Alex frowned, studying the star chart. "Maybe they're just spreading out, colonizing new regions." Samantha shook her head. "No, it's too convenient. We're in a strategic location, but with no nearby allies. And have you noticed how they keep deflecting questions about their military capabilities?" As Earth's leaders signed the Protectorate Agreement, Samantha's concerns grew. She wasn't alone. A small group of scientists, military strategists, and politicians began to voice their doubts. But their warnings were drowned out by the promise of a brighter future among the stars. 5 years passed. Earth underwent rapid changes as it integrated into the galactic community. Cleaner energy, advanced medical treatments, and faster-than-light communication transformed society. But access to true spacefaring technology remained limited, always just out of reach. Then came the Zarkax incident. A small, independent world on the fringes of Council space, Zarkax had been resisting pressure to join the Alliance. One day, without warning, all communication with the planet ceased. When Council investigators arrived, they found a world in ruins, its cities reduced to ash, its population decimated. The official story blamed a natural disaster. a massive solar flare that had overwhelmed Zarkax's planetary defenses. But leaked footage told a different story. Grainy images showed sleek warships, bearing a striking resemblance to Council designs, raining destruction from orbit. Earth's representatives demanded answers, but were met with platitudes and reassurances. The incident was isolated, they were told. There was no cause for concern. But concern was spreading, and with it, a grim realization. Earth wasn't a protectorate. It was a prison. As tensions rose, a discovery was made that would change everything. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, a geologist working in the Andes, stumbled upon an anomaly. Deep beneath the mountains, her instruments detected a vast, hollow space, a space that, according to all geological data, shouldn't exist. Initial explorations revealed a facility of mind-boggling proportions and complexity. The technology within was like nothing humanity had ever seen, and yet there was something strangely familiar about it. Carbon dating placed its construction at over 100,000 years ago, long before any known human civilization. Samantha was among the first scientists called to the site. As she descended into the facility's depths, her flashlight beam playing over walls covered in intricate symbols, she felt a mix of awe and trepidation. "It's incredible," Alex murmured beside her. "But what is it?" Their question was answered when they reached the central chamber. There, lined up in perfect rows, stood giant mechanical warriors. Humanoid in shape, they towered over 50 feet tall, their metal skin gleaming despite millennia of dormancy. "My God," Samantha breathed. "They're Mechs, ancient war machines." As the team explored further, they discovered command centers, repair bays, and what appeared to be a locked database. The implications were staggering. This wasn't just a bunker or a refuge. It was a last line of defense. But for whom? And against what? The discovery was kept secret from the Council representatives on Earth. As scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to understand and reactivate the Mechs, military leaders began to plan. If the Galactic Council wasn't what it claimed to be, humanity needed to be ready. Samantha spent months in the facility, piecing together its secrets. The symbols on the walls began to form a coherent language, telling a story of an ancient war that had spanned the galaxy. Earth, it seemed, had once been a battleground, and these Mechs were the legacy of those who had fought to defend it. As she delved deeper into the facility's database, Samantha uncovered a warning. The war wasn't over. It had merely been postponed, and the enemy would return. With growing horror, she realized that the Galactic Council wasn't a benevolent alliance. It was a mask, a facade hiding something far more sinister. And Earth, isolated and disarmed, was squarely in its sights. The revelation spurred the secret project into overdrive. Around the world, other facilities were discovered and reactivated. A select group of pilots began training, learning to meld their minds with the ancient machines. But time was running out. Council ships were appearing in greater numbers in Earth's orbit, their true intentions now clear to those who knew where to look. As Samantha worked to unlock the final secrets of the Mechs facility, a priority transmission came through from Earth's lunar base. The message was brief, but chilling. Multiple unidentified vessels approaching from outer system, not responding to hails. Battle stations. Samantha looked up from the console, meeting Alex's gaze. The moment they had been preparing for, hoping would never come, was here. "It's time," she said, her voice steady despite the fear churning in her gut. "Activate the Guardians." Throughout the hidden facilities, klaxons blared. The ground shook as ancient gears turned and sealed doors opened. One by one, the Mechs powered up, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. As the first wave of alien ships entered Earth's atmosphere, humanity's secret defenders rose to meet them. The battle for Earth's future had begun, and the galaxy was about to learn that this isolated world was anything but defenseless. The Galactic Council's stunned silence was about to be shattered by the roar of humanity's wrath. Awakening the Guardians. The skies above Earth crackled with energy as the first alien ships breached the atmosphere. Their sleek, predatory forms cut through the clouds, weapons primed and ready to subjugate the supposedly defenseless planet below. But Earth was far from defenseless. Deep within the Andean facility, Samantha Chen raced through final system checks. Around her, a carefully selected team of pilots prepared to interface with the ancient war machines. These individuals, a mix of veteran combat pilots, prodigious gamers, and brilliant engineers, represented humanity's best hope. "All systems are green," Alex Reeves called out, his fingers flying over holographic controls. "Reactor cores stable, neural interfaces online." Samantha nodded, her heart pounding. "All right, people. This is what we've trained for. Remember, these mechs are more than just machines. They're a legacy, a gift from those who defended Earth long ago. Let's make them proud." In the massive hangar bay, the first of the Guardians stirred. Designated Aurora 1, the mech's eyes flickered to life, casting an eerie blue glow across the chamber. Its pilot, Major Sarah Hawkins, felt a surge of adrenaline as the neural link engaged. "Aurora 1, online." Sarah's voice crackled over the comms. "Holy shit, the responsiveness is incredible. It's like the mech is an extension of my own body." One by one, the other Guardians activated. Titan 2, piloted by the young prodigy Jin Park. Behemoth 3, under the control of the seasoned Colonel Marcus Briggs. In total, 12 mechs stood ready, each a towering marvel of ancient engineering and power. As the hangar doors ground open, Samantha's voice came through the comm system. "Remember your training. We don't know the full extent of the enemy's capabilities, so stay alert and watch each other's backs. Humanity is counting on you. Good luck, and Godspeed." With a deafening roar, the Guardians launched into the sky, their massive forms quickly disappearing into the clouds. In orbit, the alien fleet's commander, Zarthal, watched with smug satisfaction as his ships descended toward Earth. The primitives had been so easy to deceive, so eager to believe in the benevolence of the Galactic Council. Now they would pay the price for their naivety. "Begin the assault," Zarthal ordered. "Target their major population centers and military installations. Let's end this quickly." But as his ships moved into attack formation, proximity alarms blared across the fleet. Zarthal's eyes widened in disbelief as he saw the readings. "Impossible," he hissed. "Where did they get such technology?" The Guardians burst through the cloud cover, their massive forms silhouetted against the sun. For a moment, both sides hesitated, sizing each other up. Then, with a wordless battle cry transmitted across all frequencies, the mechs charged. Aurora 1 led the assault, its energy blades slicing through the hull of an alien destroyer as if it were paper. Titan 2 unleashed a barrage of plasma bolts, downing several fighter craft in rapid succession. Behemoth 3 grappled with a massive carrier, the two Titans wrestling in the sky as fighters swarmed around them. The alien fleet, caught off guard by the unexpected resistance, struggled to regroup. Their weapons, designed to overwhelm primitive defenses, seemed to barely scratch the mech's armor. On the ground, people watched in awe as the battle raged overhead. News feeds broadcast the confrontation globally, and a wave of hope swept across the planet. Humanity was fighting back and holding its own. But the aliens' numerical superiority began to tell. For every ship the Guardians destroyed, 2 more seemed to take its place. The mech's energy reserves were depleting rapidly, and the neural interface was taking a toll on the pilots. "We need to change tactics," Sarah called out, her voice strained as she maneuvered Aurora 1 through a hail of enemy fire. "We can't match them for numbers." Jin's voice crackled over the comms, tight with concentration. "I've been analyzing their flight patterns. There's a centralized command structure. If we can take out their flagship, it might throw them into disarray." Colonel Briggs grunted in agreement as Behemoth 3 smashed another alien ship. "Good eye, kid. All units, form up on me. We're going hunting." The Guardians disengaged from their individual duels, coming together in a tight formation. With Behemoth 3 in the lead, they punched through the alien defenses, making a beeline for the largest ship in the fleet. Zarthal watched their approach with growing panic. "Stop them," he shrieked at his subordinates. "Divert all power to forward shields." But it was too late. The Guardians hit the flagship like a battering ram, their combined strength overwhelming its defenses. Aurora 1's energy blade carved a path into the ship's belly, while Titan II unleashed a devastating electromagnetic pulse, frying its systems. As alarms blared and fires raged across his bridge, Zarthal made a decision. "All ships, retreat," he ordered. "Fall back to the rally point. We were not prepared for this level of resistance." The alien fleet, its command structure in chaos, began to withdraw. Ships jumped to hyperspace in droves, leaving their stricken comrades behind. As the skies cleared, a cheer went up from the ground. The Guardians hovered in formation, battered but unbroken, as the last of the alien ships disappeared. Back in the Andean facility, Samantha and her team erupted in celebration. They had done it. Earth had stood against a technologically superior foe and emerged victorious. But as the adrenaline faded, reality set in. This was only the beginning. The enemy would be back, and in greater numbers. Earth needed to prepare. In the days that followed, governments worldwide revealed the existence of the Guardian program. The discovery of the ancient facilities, the reactivation of the Mechs, and the true nature of the Galactic Council became public knowledge. The world united with a common purpose: to ready itself for the battles to come. More facilities were uncovered, more Mechs awakened. A global defense grid was established, drawing on the ancient technology. For Samantha and her team, the work had only just begun. As she pored over the data from the battle, she uncovered something puzzling. During the height of the conflict, the Mechs had displayed abilities beyond their known capabilities. It was as if they were evolving, adapting to the fight in real time. "There's more to these Guardians than we realized," she murmured to Alex as they reviewed the footage. "It's like they're learning." Alex nodded, his expression thoughtful. "The question is, what else can they do? And will it be enough for what's coming?" As if in answer, an alert chimed on Samantha's console. New data was flowing in from the Mech's central database, information that had been locked away, only to be revealed after their first battle. Samantha's eyes widened as she read the incoming data. "My God," she breathed. "This changes everything." The Guardians, it seemed, had only begun to reveal their secrets. As Earth braced for the next assault, the true power of humanity's ancient defenders was about to be unleashed. The battle for Sol. The Sol system buzzed with activity. In the months following the initial alien attack, humanity had undergone a transformation. The revelation of the Guardians and the true nature of the Galactic Council had united Earth in a way never before seen in history. Samantha Chen stood on the observation deck of Lunar Base Alpha, watching as construction drones swarmed around a massive structure taking shape in lunar orbit. The Guardian Nexus, as it had been dubbed, would serve as humanity's first line of defense against the coming storm. "Impressive, isn't it?" Alex Reeves said, joining her at the window. "A year ago, this would have been science fiction." Samantha nodded, her expression a mix of pride and concern. "We've come so far so quickly, but will it be enough?" Before Alex could respond, an alarm blared throughout the base. Red warning lights flashed as a voice came over the intercom. Multiple hyperspace signatures detected. "All personnel to battle stations. This is not a drill." "Repeat, this is not a drill." Samantha and Alex exchanged a grim look before racing to the command center. As they burst through the doors, they were met with a scene of controlled chaos. Holographic displays showed a massive alien fleet emerging from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. General Elena Rodriguez, the newly appointed head of Earth's unified defense force, stood at the center of the room, barking orders. She nodded to Samantha and Alex as they approached. Dr. Chen, Dr. Reeves, glad you're here. We're going to need those big brains of yours. This isn't just a raid. It's a full-scale invasion. Samantha studied the tactical display, her heart sinking. The alien fleet dwarfed the force they had faced months ago. Hundreds of capital ships, thousands of fighters, and at their center, a behemoth that made the rest look like toys. What's the plan, General? Alex asked, his voice tight. Elena's eyes hardened. We fight. We've prepared for this. Activate the Guardians and alert all Earth defense stations. It's time to show these bastards what humanity is truly capable of. Across the solar system, humanity's defenses sprang to life. The Guardian Nexus hummed with power as it activated a system-wide energy shield. On Mars, massive ion cannons emerged from hidden bunkers. The asteroid belt bristled with stealth weapons platforms, while the moons of Jupiter and Saturn revealed their own surprises. More ancient facilities, awakening after millennia of dormancy. And at the heart of it all were the Guardians, no longer just 12, but now a force of 50 mechs, each piloted by the best Earth had to offer. They launched from bases around the solar system, forming up into strike teams. As the alien fleet advanced, Zarthal, now supreme commander of the invasion force, sneered at the human defenses. Impressive, he admitted grudgingly. But futile. Begin the attack. Show no mercy. The battle erupted across the solar system. In the skies above Earth, Aurora 1, piloted by the now Colonel Sarah Hawkins, led a team of Guardians against a swarm of alien fighters. The mechs moved with impossible grace, their movements more fluid and organic than in the previous encounter. They're adapting. Sarah called out as Aurora 1 effortlessly dodged enemy fire. The neural link. It's getting stronger. I can feel the mech anticipating my thoughts. Similar reports came in from other Guardian teams. The ancient machines were evolving, their capabilities growing with each passing moment of the battle. In lunar orbit, Titan II, under Jin Park's control, single-handedly held off an assault on the Guardian Nexus. The mech's form shifted and changed, sprouting new weapons and defenses as needed. It's like it's reading my mind, Jin marveled. No, more than that. It's enhancing my thoughts, showing me possibilities I never imagined. But despite the Guardians' incredible performance, the sheer numbers of the alien fleet began to tell. Earth's outer defenses fell one by one. The Martian ion cannons were silenced, the asteroid belt platforms overwhelmed. In the command center, Samantha worked feverishly to analyze the incoming data. There's a pattern to the Guardians' evolution, she muttered. It's not random. It's like they're working towards something, some ultimate form. Alex looked up from his own console, his eyes wide. Sam, look at this. The energy readings from the Guardians. They're resonating with something. Something big. As they watched, a new alert flashed across the screens. Deep within the sun, something was stirring. On the battlefield, the Guardians suddenly froze. For a heart-stopping moment, it seemed as if they had been disabled. Then, as one, they began to move again, but with a new purpose. They disengaged from their individual battles and began to converge. What's happening? General Rodriguez demanded. Why are they abandoning their posts? Samantha shook her head, her eyes fixed on the readings. They're not abandoning anything. They're evolving, combining. In the space between Earth and Luna, the Guardians came together in a blinding flash of energy. When the light faded, a single colossal form remained. A Guardian unlike any they had seen before, a Titan that dwarfed even the largest alien ships. Inside the merged Guardian, the pilots found their minds linked, their consciousness expanded beyond anything they had experienced. They were one with each other, one with the machine, and one with something far greater. The voice, ancient and powerful, resonated through their shared consciousness. The time has come. The Forge of Saul awakens. At that moment, the sun flared with impossible energy. A stream of solar plasma, controlled and directed, lanced out towards the merged Guardian. But instead of destroying it, the plasma enveloped the mech, infusing it with the power of a star. Zarthal watched in horror as the empowered Guardian turned towards his fleet. "What are you?" he whispered. The response came not in words, but in action. The Guardian moved, faster than thought, its solar-charged weapons tearing through the alien fleet like paper. Ships exploded by the dozens, then hundreds, as the unstoppable force of humanity's combined will and ancient technology was brought to bear. In a matter of minutes, it was over. The invasion fleet was in ruins, its surviving ships fleeing in panic. Zarthal's command ship, crippled and burning, drifted helplessly. As the dust settled, the merged Guardian separated back into its individual units. The pilots, dazed but exhilarated, struggled to process what they had experienced. In the Lunar Command Center, stunned silence gave way to cheers of victory. But Samantha and Alex exchanged worried looks. They had won the battle, yes, but the revelations of the past few hours raised more questions than answers. Who had created the Guardians? What was the Forge of Sol? And most importantly, what greater threat had necessitated such incredible defenses? As the celebration continued around them, Samantha turned to Alex. "We need to talk to the pilots. Whatever they experienced up there, it's the key to everything." Alex nodded grimly. "Let's just hope we're ready for the answers." The battle for Sol was over, but humanity's journey into the cosmic unknown had only just begun. Secrets of the Ancients. In the days following the battle for Sol, Earth was a planet transformed. The destruction wrought by the alien fleet was extensive, but the victory had kindled a new spirit of unity and purpose among humanity. As reconstruction efforts began, attention turned to the mysteries unveiled during the conflict. Samantha Chen and Alex Reeves found themselves at the center of a global initiative to unravel the secrets of the Guardians. The merged consciousness experienced by the pilots during the battle had unlocked a wealth of information, but deciphering it was proving to be a monumental task. In a secure facility beneath the ruins of Geneva, Samantha stood before a holographic display, surrounded by the Guardian pilots. Each of them wore a neural interface, attempting to reconnect with the collective knowledge they had briefly accessed. "Focus on the name they gave you," Samantha urged. "The Forge of Sol. What does it mean?" Sarah Hawkins, her face etched with concentration, spoke first. It's not just a weapon. It's a key to something vast and ancient." Jin Park nodded, his eyes closed. "I see flashes, a civilization that spanned galaxies. They called themselves the Precursors." As the pilots shared their fragmented memories, a picture began to emerge. The Precursors had been a race of unimaginable technological advancement. They had seeded life across the universe, nurturing young civilizations and protecting them from cosmic threats. But they had also made enemies. A rival civilization, consumed by jealousy and fear of the Precursors' power, had launched a war of extermination. The conflict had raged across millions of years and countless star systems. "Earth," Colonel Briggs said suddenly, his voice tight with emotion. Earth was special to them. A sanctuary, a hidden forge where they created their most powerful weapons and defenses. Alex, who had been quietly analyzing the data streams, looked up sharply. "The Guardians. They're not just mechs, are they? There's something more." Samantha nodded slowly, the pieces falling into place. "They're seeds of the Precursors themselves, waiting to be awakened." The revelation sent shockwaves through the scientific and political communities. Humanity had not just stumbled upon leftover weapons. They had inherited the legacy of an ancient and powerful race. But with this knowledge came new dangers. If Earth was truly the last bastion of precursor technology, it would become the target of every power in the galaxy. As if to underscore this threat, a priority message came through from the outer system monitoring stations. A massive fleet was approaching, dwarfing even the invasion force they had recently defeated. But this was no hostile armada. It was a gathering of ships from 100 different civilizations, all converging on Earth. In orbit, aboard the hastily constructed diplomatic station, Unity, representatives of Earth's nations gathered to meet the incoming delegation. Samantha and Alex stood with General Rodriguez, watching as the alien ships took up positions around the planet. The first to dock was a vessel of breathtaking beauty, its hull shimmering with colors beyond human perception. From it emerged a being of pure energy, its form barely constrained by a containment field. "Greetings, children of Earth," the being's voice resonated in their minds. "I am Zulax, speaker for the Galactic Concord. We have come in response to the awakening of the Forge." General Rodriguez stepped forward, her voice steady. "We welcome you, Speaker Zulax. But I must ask, what is the nature of this Concord? We've had unfortunate experiences with galactic organizations recently." Zulax's form flickered, an expression of what might have been sorrow. "The group you knew as the Galactic Council was a corrupt faction, a remnant of those who once warred against the Precursors. We of the Concord have long sought to uphold the Precursors' legacy of peace and protection." Over the next few hours, Zulax explained the true state of galactic politics. The awakening of the Forge of Soul had upset a delicate balance of power. Many feared the return of the Precursors and the changes it might bring. Others sought to claim the ancient technology for themselves. "You stand at a crossroads," Zulax concluded. "The power you have awakened could bring peace to the galaxy, or plunge it into an era of war unlike any seen since the fall of the Precursors." As the implications sank in, alarms blared throughout the station. Alex rushed to a console, his face paling as he read the incoming data. "Multiple hostile fleets detected," he reported. "They're coming from all directions. It's everyone. Every race that's not part of the Concord is making a play for Earth." Samantha turned to Zulax, her expression grim. "I don't suppose your Concord is prepared to help defend us." The energy being's form pulsed with determination. "We stand with Earth. The legacy of the Precursors must not fall into the wrong hands." As the combined fleets of the Concord and Earth prepared for battle, Samantha felt a tugging at the edge of her consciousness. The Guardians were calling, urging her towards a revelation. "The Forge," she whispered. "We haven't fully awakened it yet. There's more, something hidden in the heart of the sun." She locked eyes with Alex, a silent understanding passing between them. Whatever happened next would determine not just the fate of Earth, but of the entire galaxy. As the first shots of the battle lit up the sky, Samantha and Alex raced towards the Guardian Bay. The final secrets of the Precursors were waiting to be unlocked, and time was running out. The stage was set for a conflict that would reshape the cosmos. Humanity, armed with the legacy of the most advanced civilization the universe had ever known, was about to make its stand, and the galaxy would never be the same. A new era for Earth. The void of space erupted in a dazzling display of destructive power as the combined fleets of Earth and the Galactic Concord clashed with the invading armada. Energy beams crisscrossed the darkness, while swarms of fighters engaged in deadly dances around capital ships. Aboard the Unity station, General Rodriguez coordinated Earth's defenses, her face illuminated by the holographic battle map. "All Guardian units, engage at will. Protect the Forge at all costs." The Guardians, now numbering in the hundreds thanks to the discovery of more hidden facilities, formed a protective sphere around Earth and its star. They moved with impossible grace, their powers amplified by the awakened Forge of Sol. But even with their incredible abilities and the support of the Concord, the sheer numbers of the enemy fleet were overwhelming. For every ship destroyed, 2 more seemed to take its place. Meanwhile, deep within the Guardian Nexus orbiting the moon, Samantha and Alex raced against time. They had realized that the key to fully activating the Forge lay not in the sun itself, but in the combined power of the Guardians and their human pilots. "It's a test," Samantha explained as they worked, her fingers flying over holographic controls. "The Precursors didn't just leave weapons. They left a challenge, a way to prove we're worthy of their legacy. Alex nodded, his face etched with concentration. But how do we prove it? What are they looking for? As if in answer, the neural interfaces used by the Guardian pilots began to pulse with energy. Samantha's eyes widened as she read the incoming data. It's not about power, she breathed. It's about unity. The Guardians, the pilots, Earth, the Sun, they all need to work as one. Outside, the battle reached a fever pitch. The enemy fleet had broken through the outer defenses and was closing in on Earth. The Guardians fought valiantly, but they were being pushed back, overwhelmed by the relentless assault. In that moment of crisis, Samantha made a decision. We need to link everyone, she said, turning to Alex. Not just the pilots, but everyone on Earth. If we're going to prove we're worthy of the Precursor's legacy, we need to show we can unite as a species. Alex's eyes widened as he grasped her plan. A planetary neural link. Sam, that's never been done before. The energy requirements alone. The Forge will provide the power. Samantha cut him off. We just need to make the connection. As they worked feverishly to modify the Nexus's systems, General Rodriguez's voice came over the comm. Whatever you're planning, do it fast. We can't hold them off much longer. With a final keystroke, Samantha activated the planetary link. Across the globe, people felt a sudden rush of connection, their minds joining in a vast network. Through the Guardians, this link extended to the Forge itself, awakening its full potential. In space, the Guardians suddenly moved with new purpose. They came together, merging into a colossal form that dwarfed even the largest ships in the invading fleet. But this time, the merger didn't stop with the Mechs. The consciousness of every human on Earth flowed into the combined Guardian, creating a being of unimaginable power and complexity. The voice that spoke next resonated not just through space, but through the very fabric of reality. It was the voice of humanity, united and amplified by the power of the Precursors. Enough, it said, and the battle stopped as if frozen in time. Enemy ships hung motionless, their weapons silenced. Through the vast network of human minds, guided by the wisdom imparted by the Guardians, Earth spoke to the galaxy. It spoke of peace, of unity, of the potential for growth and understanding. It offered a vision of a future where conflicts were resolved not through war, but through cooperation and mutual respect. The invading fleet, faced with this display of power and wisdom, had a choice to make. Some fled, their ambitions of conquest shattered. Others, moved by the vision presented, laid down their arms and joined the concord. As the echo of Earth's message faded, the combined Guardian began to separate. The colossal form broke apart into individual mechs, while the planetary neural link gently disengaged. Humans across the globe found themselves back in their own minds, forever changed by the experience of true unity. In the aftermath, Earth found itself at the center of a transformed galaxy. The Forge of Soul, fully awakened, stood as a beacon of hope and a deterrent against future conflicts. The Galactic Concord, with Earth as a key member, began the long process of healing the rifts caused by millennia of war and mistrust. Samantha and Alex, hailed as heroes for their role in unlocking the Forge's potential, stood on the observation deck of the Unity Station, looking out at the star-filled sky. So, Alex said, a hint of wonder in his voice, "What now?" Samantha smiled, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "Now we explore. The Precursors left more than just the Forge. There's a whole universe out there, filled with their legacy. And it's up to us to discover it, to learn from it, and to use it wisely." As if in response to her words, a section of the station's hull shimmered and became transparent, revealing a breathtaking view of Earth. The planet glowed with a new energy, a visible manifestation of the Forge's power and humanity's potential. "You know," Alex mused, "a few years ago, we were just two scientists trying to make sense of a strange signal from space. Now look at us." Samantha nodded, her expression thoughtful. "We've come a long way. But something tells me that this is just the beginning. As they watched, a fleet of new ships rose from Earth's surface, built with a combination of human ingenuity and precursor technology. These vessels were humanity's first true starships, capable of exploring the furthest reaches of the galaxy. The age of Earth's isolation was over. Humanity had claimed its place among the stars, armed with the wisdom of the past and the promise of the future. The Guardians stood watch, a reminder of the responsibility that came with such power. And somewhere, in the vast expanse of the cosmos, the last of the precursors smiled. Their children had passed the test. The legacy was in good hands. As the first of Earth's starships engaged their faster-than-light drives, a new chapter in human history began. The galaxy, with all its wonders and challenges, awaited. The journey of discovery, of growth, of becoming more than they had ever dreamed possible, was just beginning. And Earth, once a small blue marble in the cosmic ocean, now stood as a shining beacon of hope for all civilizations, a guardian of peace, and a forge of unity in a vast and wondrous universe.